And hello, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host, Jonathan. Once again, bringing you another review of Marvel's What If Season 2, Episode 4. And I want to start off by saying Merry Christmas to everybody who celebrates it. Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, and Happy New Year as well. If you've seen this later, I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about Marvel's What If because it continues this little episode daily thing. So this episode was very interesting. So let's talk about it. So we all know the events of Marvel's Avengers. Tony Stark pretty much takes a rocket up to space, shoots it at Thanos, and destroys the whole Chitauri army. Well, what if, get the pun, he did not go back through the whole wormhole as it was closing, and Hulk did not catch him. He ended up being drifted into space. What happens if Tony Stark ended up in Sakaar? That's right, Sakaar is back in this episode. We get to see Tony Stark stranded there, dealing with the fact that he's he's all by himself. He's got no friends. He's dealing with the Collector. The Grandmaster, sorry. And what happens if, Tony Stark, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist, genius, meets funny, psycho, kind of a nutcase guy? You get pretty much Mad Max Fury Road in a strange way. And when Stark ends up there, he has no idea what the heck is going on. He meets the Grandmaster, played by Jeff Goldblum again, which is great because I think he does a great job with that character. He has, we all know the Grandmaster. He loves his games. He loves his entertainment. So instead of, we're going to see Tony Stark fight his grand champion. Yes and no. His grand champion happens to be a monster, but comes out during a race car race. That's right. The Grandmaster has created Mario Kart in the MCU. That's exactly what you just heard. Literally racing in the MCU with cars, as he calls it, chariots. Tony Stark is confused as all heck, but he goes along with it. Obviously, he wants to get out of there. He wants to get out of Sakaar and go back home. He sees everybody's okay, but Thanos knows about Tony Stark. This is where we get to see the whole, how does Thanos know about Tony Stark? If you guys remember in Infinity War, Stark, you know me? I do. You're not the only one cursed with knowledge. How does he knew? How does Tony Stark knew about Thanos before he, Ruffalo told him about him? Well, in this universe, he knew because Thanos found out, he was the guy who pretty much foiled my plans of the Chitauri invading Earth in New York. So I thought that stuff was cool. We got to see Gamora. I'm pretty sure this is the same Gamora who is the Multiverse Avenger. I'm not quite sure about that. I might have been confused. I don't think I caught that reference. It could be her, could be not for her. But this is her origin of how she ends up in Sakaar, becomes a prisoner, forced to race as well. So what does Tony Stark do? He does what he does best. He finds junkies, which we all know. He's got the Mark 1 suit, or sorry, Mark 2 in this case. This is after the cave, or 3, or wherever he's up to in this world. Build it from scrap, right? Where does he land? Sakaar. Sakaar is basically a junkyard of space. So he starts building up his new suit. He's got a Hulkbuster armor kind of a suit on. He goes and he makes a deal with the Grandmaster. Hey, you and me, we race. Winner takes the kingdom of Sakaar. And of course, the big race happens. And of course, Tony Stark reigns supreme. But you know what? The people, he physically frees the people from the clutches of the Grandmaster. And then him and Gamora literally go try to find Thanos and stop him before any snapping involves. So there's that. Okay. Oh, by the way, forgot to mention, Korg is in this episode as well, which not surprising. When we first met him, played by Taika Waititi, he was in here as well. So I thought that stuff was cool. I kind of like this episode. This was basically seeing Tony Stark being a billionaire playboy genius that he is, showing us, give him more scraps. He'll make something awesome out of it. So I like that stuff, how he literally lands on a planet where he can take nothing but a bunch of junk and turned it into an Iron Man suit. I like that because honestly, when we get to the point where Iron Man's already at the point where he's making nanotechnology suits, he's pretty much invincible. So, he would have been out of there in 5 seconds. But since he had to basically build his way out of it, so I appreciate him doing the original way, how he used to do things. So I'm glad we got to see that cool suit. Nothing too fancy, except the fact that it did transform into a race car. That was interesting because that was a pretty cool moment in the episode. But yeah, he had a race car. The Grandmaster gave him one. It got destroyed. His armor comes off and he forms a new race car, and then he ends up doing the race. So I thought that stuff was really, really cool. But of course, he had help from Valkyrie as well, because Valkyrie was already there, being drunk and doing all her thing, So I thought all that stuff worked. Him fighting with Gamora, because Gamora wanted to get revenge for Thanos for losing the Chitauri army in New York. So I thought that stuff was cool. I don't know why, but for some reason, every time I watch something with Tony Stark, I feel like it goes by fast. I mean, with him, it's like you give a person a test who's a genius, and when the teacher tells you on your marks, get set, go to start the test, the genius is already done. It's like we didn't even get to see him do prep time. I mean, we saw Tony Stark do a little bit of prep time to, build his suit, but it was kind of fast because obviously it's a short episode. But, with Tony Stark, it's in and out. It's kind of like if Batman had to build something really quick, in and out, done. So it was like, okay, what else is new? But, yeah, fun little episode. Not my favorite out of the episodes I've seen so far. So far, the Happy Hogan episode was the best one so far. But this was pretty cool. I love seeing Tony Stark use his hands again. Building technology from, scrap. And I liked how he teamed up with Valkyrie, Korg, and of course, Gamora. I'm not sure if that's the same Gamora who's a multiverse Guardian Avenger, the one who fought Ultron Supreme. But it was good seeing that version's background. She teams up with him. They go after Thanos at the end. Supposedly, it looks like they kill him, so no snaps at the end, no Avengers Endgame, and Tony Stark does not die in that universe. So it was a cool little thing. Not my favorite out of all of them so far, but not bad. Let's just have to wait and see what happens tomorrow. So leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Did you guys like it? Not like it? Did you guys not watch it because it's Christmas? Leave a comment below. Let me know. Stay tuned for more. Thank you very much, and Merry Christmas again, and have a happy day.